Hey everyone, it's Inspector Q here with Pro Inspect Solutions, and this is your Home Helper podcast. Today, we're diving into something every homeowner needs to know, choosing the right plumbing pipes for your home. And trust me, this isn't just about avoiding a leaky faucet. This is about protecting your biggest investment and keeping your family safe. We have a special guest with us today, Jonathan from FlowGuard Gold, joining us to drop some serious knowledge. Whether you're dealing with leaks, replacing old pipes, or just planning an upgrade, what you'll learn today could save you thousands of dollars and tons of headaches down the road. So grab a seat, hit that like button, and let's get into why some pipes fail while FlowGuard Gold lasts. How important is the installation when it comes down to the plumbing pipes, not only with CPVC and FlowGuard Gold, but just in general?
Installation is the most important thing when you're looking at the quality of a plumbing system.
Okay.
The materials, each one has its pros and cons.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the installation, that's where you can have some pretty significant drawbacks or limitations on the performance of the material. If you think about a copper system,
yes,
where it's soldered and you gotta wipe your joints and all of that, if the solder job is not done correctly, it can actually create corrosion at the joint. Yes. And so it's very important with a copper system that everything's done correctly. Similar with a FlowGuard Gold system. Proper installation is critical. It's joined using what's called a solvent weld, which creates an actual weld between the pipe and the fitting, creating one solid piece of FlowGuard Gold all the way through. There's no longer a fitting there when it's done correctly.
Okay.
But if the installer doesn't follow the directions and doesn't assemble it correctly, it can create a potential risk for a leak point. Even in PEX systems, we see risks of installation error. Most commonly with those systems, what I'll see is if you have, say, a crimp joint, a lot of plumbers feel like if once is good, twice is better. And so they'll double crimp. And what can actually happen is that second crimp distorts the ring and creates a leak path. Even bottoming out the fitting. That's a problem that can occur in all systems, whether it's copper, FlowGuard Gold, or PEX. If the fitting isn't properly seated, it may not form a proper seal and cause a risk for leaks in the future.
Okay. And in regards to the joints, the connection points, whether it's copper being soldered together or it's PEX with the actual the copper fitting joints and whatnot, I was going on FlowGuard website, and the way they connect the joints make it less prone to having leaks than any other pipes that I've seen before. I know you touched on it a little bit, but can you touch on it a little bit more?
Absolutely. I actually have.
Yeah, go ahead and
have some examples here. Now I don't have the cement that welds it together. Okay. But one of the great things about a FlowGuard Gold system is the pipe and the fitting are made out of the same material. Okay. So similar to copper, but even with a copper system, you have the solder, which is made out of another material. Even within a CPVC system, that cement has CPVC as a component to it. Okay. So that's why you'll go and you'll buy a FlowGuard Gold cement to go with your FlowGuard Gold pipe and FlowGuard Gold fittings. Yes. As you join it together, you apply the cement to the pipe and then a small amount in the fitting. You push it in while twisting, and then as it dries, it actually bonds molecularly. So it becomes one continuous piece of FlowGuard Gold all the way through.
So it's a seamless process.
Exactly. And that's what makes it the strongest joint in the industry. You could put this on, once it's welded together, you could put this on a pressure test, and the pipe would fail before the fitting does, somewhere around 1200 PSI. Now, if you have 1200 PSI running through your home, you've got some other major problems. Correct. Your pipe's not going to be the top of that list.
Yeah, because we do inspections all the time, and we come across PEX plumbing pipes. Of course, even the older plumbing pipes like polybutylene that leaks at the fittings. Yes. And that's the reason why many of those have been replaced today. But even with the newer PEX plumbing pipes, we're starting to see leaks, and even the inside of the pipe starting to have corrosion and other things wearing down or degrading within the pipes.
Absolutely, and that's a real big concern that we see across the country. And it all stems back to what I mentioned earlier, chlorine.
Gotcha.
So polybutylene, which some people may remember Some service plumbers may have very positive memories of polybutylene because they did a whole bunch of repipes.
Correct. Yeah.
I know a few plumbers who put their kids through college on the polybutylene settlement. The real risk, the real problem with polybutylene, and now what we're seeing with PEX, is that incompatibility with chlorinated water. And there's some really great documents out there, very technical documents by the Plastics Pipe Institute. Their technical note 53 and technical note 67 that really go into the detail. But essentially what it says is that when you have a PEX system, polyolefin, which is the technical name for a family of plastics that includes PEX, polybutylene, and polypropylene, the chlorine in the water can degrade the product. They try their best to formulate the product to reduce the risk. They'll put something called an antioxidant or a chlorine inhibitor into the pipe. And essentially the job of that antioxidant is the chlorine's trying to attack the pipe. Yes. The antioxidant jumps out in front of it and the chlorine interacts with that first. But that's a sacrificial reaction. So over time, you get less and less antioxidant. Okay. And that antioxidant can be absorbed by other things like UV light from the sun. Yes. I've seen some cases where they'll say if you put the wrong type of adhesive tape on the pipe, it can actually soak the antioxidants out. And even those antioxidants aren't perfect. If you have the water flowing too hot, or if you have too much or the wrong type of chlorine in there, or if the water pressure is too high, it can all accelerate the time of the failure. The PPI document specifically lays out 3 conditions, which is water pressures over 80 psi, water temperatures over 140 degrees Fahrenheit, and water with what's called an oxidative reduction potential, or ORP, greater than 825 millivolts. So most people know what their water pressure is, give or take, or you can find out pretty easily.